Today, we're gonna talk about 5 things you don't need to go on a day hike. Yeah, I know, gear reviews and telling you what cool stuff there is to buy for all sorts of hiking adventures is kind of our thing. But you know what else is our thing? Encouraging more people to get outside more often. And frankly, the things that a lot of people are telling potential hikers that they need isn't entirely necessary. Right off the bat, let me just get this out of the way. This list is contingent on where you're hiking, how long you plan to be hiking, and that sort of thing. Like, are you doing really aggressive trails? Are you spending all day on the trail? Are you going miles and miles and miles every day? Or are you just wandering outside your house to do some easy walks in the woods? If that's more the case, if you're not planning on spending 6 to 12 hours a day on the trail going far into the backcountry, then these 5 things, you probably don't need them. Number 1 is an overbuilt pair of hiking boots. Yeah, hiking boots can be beneficial if you're on extremely rocky terrain that you're not really used to, if you feel that you need a little bit more ankle support, or if you're constantly walking through creeks and streams and you want something waterproof, then, that's fine. Get a nice pair of aggressive hiking boots. Me? I do hike for hours and for miles in barefoot sandals. And when I'm on trails that are close to home, I see people hiking in their running shoes or the gym shoes they wear just around town. And most of the time, that's totally fine. What I'm saying is, if you're just casually hiking some fairly easy trails from time to time, you can hike in the shoes you already have. You don't have to drop a ton of money on purpose-built hiking boots if hiking is just something you want to try out. So feel free to wear the shoes you already have. Number 2 is a super expensive day pack. Yeah, I'm aware that there's a very large wall of fairly expensive day packs right behind me. But hear me out. Yes, a nice day pack that is purpose-built for hiking can absolutely make hiking more enjoyable because they are designed to be more comfortable over long periods of time, to distribute weight more evenly. They're designed with pockets in convenient places to store snacks and extra layers. A quality day pack is a really nice thing to have if you are planning on spending a lot of time hiking in the near future. That said, if you're new to hiking or you just hike occasionally, you don't need that. Heck, take your kid's JanSport out on the trail or whatever backpack you happen to find at a thrift store near you. If it holds things, then it'll work. And when I say things, I mean like the essentials, the things that you need to take with you hiking. We'll put a link to our 11 essentials in the description below. They're things that you should always take on longer day hikes. Then, after you've really decided you like this hiking thing and you'd like to maybe invest a little bit of money into some nice gear, get yourself an expensive day pack. But until then, don't sweat it. Carry a hip pack or whatever backpack you already have at your house. Number 3 is highly technical synthetic clothing. Again, yes, synthetic clothing is really nice to have. If you're planning on going on really long hikes or going backpacking, it's almost a necessity. It helps wick sweat, it dries quickly, which is an absolute necessity in the winter when it's cold, and it just tends to be more comfortable when you're sweating. That said, you can totally hike in whatever you want, especially when it's warm outside. Now, when it's winter or cold out, you might want to be a little more careful because even sweat soaking through your clothes, if it doesn't dry quickly, can make you feel a lot colder. But in the summer, when you're sweating, in the spring and fall even, when it's warm outside, you can absolutely get away with jean shorts and a cotton tank top. Like, no judgment. Wear the clothes that you have. Number 4 is an overpriced first aid kit. Now, hear me out here. Yes, you do need a first aid kit when you're hiking or backpacking or biking, or honestly, you should probably have one in your car as well. But it doesn't need to be one of those super expensive ones that you find at REI or online. Yes, those are nice. We love kits from MyMedic and Adventure Kits. We've bought many of these over the years. But honestly, if you're just going on a day hike, look through your medicine cabinet and see what you have on hand. Bring some bandages. Buy a couple sheets of moleskin for blisters. Pack some painkillers. and maybe a little gauze in case somebody gets scraped up. For most day hikes, that's gonna be enough. Even for larger, more robust first aid kits, you could just go to the pharmacy and buy things piecemeal, and you're gonna save a lot more money by putting a first aid kit together yourself instead of buying one that's like fully ready to go. Just put it in a stasher bag or a plastic zip top bag to keep it all together and protected from water, and ta-da! First aid kit. But before we move on to the last point, make sure you stick around afterwards for the next video, which is 5 things you should bring on a hike. Number 5 is fancy trekking poles. Now, we've compared expensive versus budget-friendly trekking poles before, and yeah, there are some differences. A lot of differences. But if you are just going on a few hikes a year, or you're just getting started in hiking, don't spend $200 on trekking poles. Honestly, you could probably just find a stick at the trailhead and use that if necessary. You can find inexpensive trekking poles that do the job just as well as an expensive pair. Yeah, they're gonna weigh a little more, but you know what? It doesn't really matter if you're just going on day hikes. So if you'd like to hike with trekking poles, buy a pair you can afford. No big deal. So there you have it. Now check out our video on 5 things you should bring on your next hike. Or maybe you should just check out our video on cheap versus expensive trekking poles. What we have to say may surprise you.